Now, Reform leader Nigel Farage has accused the BBC of double standards after he was asked about racist and anti-Semitic comments that he allegedly made as a teenager. He said the broadcaster should apologise for airing racist and homophobic shows such as 8.5 Hot Mum and the Black and White Minstrel Show in the 1970s. And it's interesting because we were talking about this today, weren't we, Jane? And you asked him about his comments made in his school days, allegedly, on this show in 2024. Well, we'll have a look.
Back in, like, 1981, one of your teachers from school described you as a racist and a neo-fascist.
Well,
but where does that come from? Why do you think this is... You were not a politician then, and somebody said that about you.
To go back 45 years, where a few of us are winding up school teachers, is irrelevant. What I will say is this, and I'll repeat it. Nobody's done more... Nobody has done more, Jane, to drive out the far right in British politics from my party and out of the scene completely than me.
Well, these comments aren't going away, are they, Jane?
No, they're not going away because now they've been... what I was referring to there was a letter from 1981. One of his teachers, Chloe Deacon, he was 17. Right. He was in the mix to become a prefect. And one of his teachers wrote to the then head of Dulwich College to say, look, I don't think he should be in the mix to become a prefect because of his publicly expressed... publicly professed racist and neo-fascist views. So I was just bringing that up because we were talking at the time about racist elements within his party, which he expelled. And so I thought it was relevant. And obviously he didn't like the question at all. Here we are now. So now some pupils have come forward.
Yeah, more than a dozen, I think.
But, of course, the people around him are saying it's politically motivated. But that teacher's letter wasn't politically motivated. He was 17-year-old Nigel Farage then. But it's interesting. So he started off saying he doesn't remember saying these things, but if he did, it was just playground banter. It wasn't meant to hurt anybody. Now the people around him seem to be blatantly saying, this is a lie, this did not happen, saying that these people are lying. But even in all of this, I don't understand why he doesn't just say, I don't remember it, but if this did happen, I apologise, it is unacceptable. Because actually, you know, I don't think it will change the march of reform. I don't think it will change a thing, because a lot of people, look, we have Trump in power. Yeah. Everybody knows what Trump has said behind the scenes. People still factored that in and voted for him. I don't think it would harm him to just say, do you know what? This many people saying this.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. We don't know how this will play politically, but just if we look at this just in terms of human decency, and maybe that's the way that we should be looking at it, what is the right thing to do in this instance? I mean, Oti, would you say it is to apologise?
I would definitely say, but then I wonder, why isn't he apologising? If I've done something to hurt you and I know it's wrong, do I not apologise because I don't think I'm wrong?
Well, he says he's never directly racially abused anyone. That's his position.
And then everybody else, more than 12,000 people, say, actually...
12 people, yeah.
You have, and it hurts us. And I wonder whether the gaslighting that he's putting on those people as well is going to continue, because it is a hurtful thing. When you've hurt someone and you've said something to them and you're just letting it go like it was a long time ago, they are still people who are left with the repercussions, and it still hurts them today. And it would be nice to see him acknowledge that and then move on. Like you said, it's not going to affect where the party's going to go.
But I presume he's got advisors around him going, oh, my God, you know, we're ahead in the polls, don't ruin it, don't... Yeah. Just get rid of it, distract, let's criticise the BBC,
But that's where I come back to. Are you acting as a politician or are you acting as a person? You know, and, you know, sometimes you've just got to admit that you're wrong and say sorry. Or if you have hurt someone, even if, as you say, Oti, you don't feel that you did it maliciously, you don't feel that you did it with the intent to hurt, but someone is honestly saying to you, I am hurt, what's the human thing to do?
But also, as you were saying this morning, Jane, weren't you? We all watched those shows
the 60s and 70s shows, yeah.
Exactly. This is what Jane was saying this morning. But none of us then went out and weaponised those words and those things that we now know are very wrong. And the accusations that people have, you know, put out against him, that's horrific, what he said. it's not, you can't quantify it with shows on the BBC. And so for me, this is clownish for him to say, but look at the BBC aren't apologising for these programmes.
It's deflection, isn't it?
It's such deflection because I found it very moving. I saw one of the interviews. I found it very moving from one of the men that was talking about what it was like for him at school. And I know Farage denies it, but I found it very moving and quite awful, the thought that you would have somebody coming up and saying things like, he has allegedly said.
What I mean,
so say sorry.
I need to just quickly say, because you mentioned that letter from the school teacher, Jane, and the former master of Dulwich was David Ems, who did appoint him as a prefect in the end, said that he had no memory of the meeting or the letter, and he said it was naughtiness, not racism. So just in the interest of fairness...
it was in Michael Crick's book, wasn't it?
I have to say that. But just... quickly, if you don't mind, OT, this is going to go back and forward with Nigel Farage, and he's going to say this, that, and the next thing. What does it do to our sort of national debate? What feeling does it leave you?
I don't know, but for me, definitely, I've been here for 10 years and I've been working, and now I'm officially British, but it just feels so divided. It really, I just feel, or maybe it's the algorithms that are coming to me. It doesn't feel like we as a country are moving towards one goal, which is improving the NHS, improving the quality of life of people. It just feels like everything becomes more and more divided, and it's a scary place to raise a young child. I have a mixed-race child. It's very confusing. How do I explain what's going on in the country where she is born? Yeah. It's just how I feel.
I think my dad would say the same. He's been here 60 years. He loves this country so much. And I think more and more he feels like he's not as welcome and he loves this country.
It's that. It's a welcoming. It's the even being a legal migrant and working and contributing, paying tax, doing charity, you still feel like, whoa, what is this?
That's the way you feel.
Yeah.